going on. Lenin's Pope is set to arrive in Mexico on Friday for an agitation, a 6-day visit that will conclude with this meddler standing on the U.S. border to show solidarity with the illegal alien invaders trying to cross it. This man should be deported if he arrives in America again. And I'll tell you who brought him in last time. That shameful John Boehner, who said it was the greatest thing he ever did, was bringing the Pope to America. This is astounding to me that you would let a politician act as a religious man. Someone wrote this: Obama has a willing accomplice in overthrowing our government and way of life. He means the Pope. And then he wrote this: Pope Francis, you are not welcome outside the Vatican, and any Catholic who would support your political worldview should denounce him now. Even Christ said, my kingdom is not of this world. Apparently Francis does not take the word of God as infallible, only himself. And as I've said in my book Government Zero, he is Lenin's Pope through and through. First, he tried to be a genius on climate change. He was totally wrong on that. And now he plans to show up at the border masquerading as an illegal alien from Mexico. The Pope should be sitting in jail for his crimes against children worldwide. That's my opinion. Secondly, he's a hypocrite of the highest order. He is the epitome of the word hypocrite. When the day the Vatican sells off its art and gives the money to the poor, or the day the Vatican opens up its borders and lets the poor pour in from Iraq and Syria, is the day I'll believe a word that comes out of this Catholic Church under Pope Francis, Lenin's Pope. So as you see, my friends, I'm not so wrong when I say revolution comes to America. It's coming from Sanders and Clinton. It's coming from the Catholic Church, but it's not coming from Michael Savage. We are going to stop this revolution. We are going to save America together. We are not going to sit here passively wringing our hands. And if the time comes, I'm going to make a commitment to you right now. We will be in the streets and we will stop them. Did you hear what I just said? I will not die on this earth and leave this country in ruins for my granddaughter to inherit a wreckage because you were too cowardly to stand up for what you believe. All of you, listen to me very carefully. You may think that you can just listen to radio or read a newspaper or read a blog and stop this. You are wrong. You're going to have to put yourself out there. You're going to have to do what they're doing in Europe to stand up to these communists, or you're not going to have a nation. And if you think you're immune because you're not a rich person, you're crazy. Because first they came for the rich, but you were not rich, and you did not stand up for the rich. And then they came for the middle class, but you didn't stand up for the middle class because you were not even of the middle class. And then when they started to come for the poor, there was no one left to stand up for you because everyone else had been taken out. Do you understand how this works? The communists eat their own. They start to kill each other. They take everything from everyone, and they produce nothing. That's Bernie Sanders in a nutshell. I got a lot more to say about the revolution comes to America. Be here.
Join the Savage Nation. Call now, 855-400-SAVAGE, 855-400-7282. Savage.
Hey, our Savage Nation is sponsored by SwissAmerica.com, the only company I trust for wealth insurance, gold and silver. Call 800-BUI-CO.
What began last week in Iowa, what voters here in New Hampshire confirmed tonight, is nothing short of the beginning of a political revolution.
Revolution comes to him. Make no mistake about it, this nice old man is a very dangerous man who could bring about fascism in the blink of an eye. You don't know that. What you don't understand is that he himself may not be this fascist dictator that we all sense is underneath the surface of that crumpled old suit. But he will surround himself with the most vicious people you could ever imagine. That's the way it's done. I'm trying to warn you, but you can't get it. So I'll play for you now a little entertainment. Here's Vladimir Lenin himself, because very few people know what he actually sounded like in the original Russian, in a speech from many years ago in clip 5. Nothing.
Что такое советская власть? В чем заключается сущность этой новой власти, которой не хотят или не могут понять еще в большинстве стран? Сущность ее...
Okay, in the past, the country was in one way or another governed by the rich or by the capitalists. But for now, the first time the country is being governed by the classes, and moreover by the masses, of those classes which capitalism formerly oppressed. Bernie Sanders can take this exact speech and run with it. You understand what's going on? Isn't it time to put your hat on forward? Isn't it time for you to stop paying attention to sports and entertainment and realize your country is being taken away from you in front of your eyes? How dumb can the American male be? The answer is there's no limit to the stupidity of the American male. There is no limit to it. It's sky high. Do you know how many people died from the slave labor camps? From being sent to the gulag for being politically incorrect? Do you know what the phrase politically incorrect actually means? You use it somewhat with a certain degree of chagrin, like, it's funny, politically incorrect. Do you know who these monsters are who are trying to control your thoughts and your words, your deeds? Do you know what they want to do to you when they have total and absolute power? Do you know what they might do to you if this psychotic with the rumpled suit from the gutters of New York should become president? Many of you don't know because you are Americans who have grown up in a spoiled nation without any problems, with no history. You have no history. You are a new generation of brainwashed individuals who don't know anything about virtually anything. Well, I do. And I want to take some callers on this issue of mine today. Today's show is entitled Revolution Comes to America, where the soul of American self is up for grabs. It's as clear as a bell. Whether you like him or not, and I happen to like him a lot, Trump represents America's hope. The Democrat Party, whoever they may select, the corrupt, aged, goiterous Hillary, or the psychotic, rumpled communist Bernie, these two represent the communist revolution. And again, I want to remind you, you may not understand what I'm saying to you. In the original Communist Manifesto by Marx and Engels, they wrote their ideas for how the capitalist society of their time would be replaced first by socialism and then finally by communism.